Good morning, Internet. I'm your host, Anvil. This is my co-host,
Izzy.
And we are doing our album a day recap for the month of February.
So for February, we decided to go in alphabetical order for the artist. It goes first name, last name, and the is only under T. I know, I'm very stubborn with my rules. And we also pulled a random genre. So this made this month very difficult, but I think we got a lot of good albums.
We got good albums, but it was a failed experiment. Trying to give ourselves two what's it called? Two qualifiers.
Not doing that again.
Yeah, that was difficult.
It's for some albums, it actually took us like an hour plus to find them, but it was.
And in some cases, we found some of our favorite albums.
Yeah.
Because of it. Now the others were really easy. Like when you draw rap and you're on Q, it's kind of easy. Or when you're looking for a number and you draw a rap, kind of easy. But it was a little bit harder when you're looking for like folk under H.
Yeah, that was difficult.
Some of those were a little bit more difficult.
Keep watching and I guess you'll see what albums we ended up picking. Okay, since this was a challenge month, all the albums we listened to are the same, so I won't mention that. On day 1, we listened to 5 Aside by Ace. Day 2, Doom Days by Bastille. Day 3 is Chronicle, 20 Greatest Hits by Creedence Clearwater Revival. Day 4 is Crash by Dave Matthews Band. Day 5, Fallen by Evanescence. Day 6, Tango in the Night by Fleetwood Mac. And day 7 is Ganging Up on the Sun by Guster.
All right, here's our week 1 review. We started off with Yacht Rock.
Yeah, Yacht Rock.
So we ended up with Ace. I mean, it was Yacht Rock. It was pretty plain, simple rock and roll.
We just shuffled randomly on Spotify's Yacht Rock, and we found Ace, and we got an A, and we were like, maybe we should do alphabetical. And that's where it all went downhill.
It did. It really did. So then next up, we did Doom Days by Bastille.
A little lackluster for Bastille, but it was still a good album. I definitely recommend it if you have listened to Bastille's other stuff.
It's like I always say, it was like chocolate ice cream on a chocolate cake.
Bad Blood was a very good album of theirs.
Yeah, it was good. It was good, but it was just all blended together. CCR there. One of my favorite albums of all time.
It was a greatest hits, so you can obviously tell that it's all going to be good songs. None of them were really bad, honestly.
Down on the corner.
I don't remember much of it, but I don't remember. I'm not good with remembering things.
That hurts my heart.
But I didn't dislike it. I know that.
All right. So what did you think about Dave Matthews' Crash? Crash into me.
I liked it, but as you said, what was the type of band called where they just jam rock? Was it?
Yeah, jam rock.
A bit hard. A bit too long. It was like an hour long for an album. And a lot of it did, I don't know if filler's the word, because obviously that was the style of it. It wasn't too fill. It was kind of meant for that, but...
Yeah, it was good. He has some good songs on there. Monkey's another good one. But it did kind of show the difference between how the attention span of the younger you are,
I think it was also because you were playing Minecraft and I was just sitting there. It's hard to just sit and listen to music sometimes.
Yeah, I have heard the album many times. Evanescence, Fallen. That one was sort of disappointing to me because I sort of expected more, and it was another one of those ones where when they stripped it down, it sounded better, but their average sound, and they have some good songs.
They had her voice very quiet. That's what we noticed.
Yeah.
So the instrumentals were a little bit too loud, just like your voice right now.
Yeah, just like I drowned you out.
Oh my God. Fleetwood Mac was the next one. Again, same thing with Dave Matthews Band. It kind of just zoned out, kind of turned into like just sound for me at one point because it was kind of longer, if I remember correctly.
I love that album. That album put me to sleep during some really troubled times in my life. Yeah. At the same time, I was listening to the Free Will and Bob Dylan, which is coming up in this month.
And then the last song of this week was Guster. Ganging Up on the Sun. That was
Guster.
It was really good. It was a really good album. It was definitely one of the nominations for Best Album. It did not win that one, spoiler alert, but if we were allowed to pick multiple albums, it'd be up there.
It won my week. I had known several of the songs by Guster, but I didn't know how good the album was.
I believe actually we re-listened to most of the songs because we couldn't pick. It was like in January, the Toad the Wet Sprocket album. It was very difficult.
And it's on my current daily mem stick in my work vehicle. I know. I don't do Spotify in the work vehicle. I know. I do it on a stick. All right. So let's move on to week number dos.
Okay, so for week 2, day 1 was Moments by Hollow Coves. Day 2 was Stranger Songs by Ingrid Michaelson. Day 3 was American 4, The Man Comes Around by Johnny Cash. Day 4 was Kiss Me Once by Kylie Minogue. Day 5 was Led Zeppelin 4 by Led Zeppelin. Day 6 is Shine Forever by Monsta X. And Day 7 was Moral Panic by Nothing But Thieves.
Okay, this is the week 2 review. This is a really weird week because this features some of the best and some of the worst, I think.
Yeah.
It really did.
A very roller coastery emotion.
Yeah. What was day 1?
Day 1, Moments, Hollow Coves.
Listening to that on a daily.
And one of the better albums off of this month.
Unbelievable. But 2 Australian guys who just basically posted their songs and blew up. Like, they're just so laid back. Their songs are about traveling, enjoying life.
Extremely calm. It was a very calming album. Another one of the ones that actually took us like an hour and a half to find. We were like so ready to just put on a random H that we already knew we liked and just say that we got the genre. But,
yeah. So then we moved on to Ingrid Michaelson. You know, it was an album inspired by Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I really liked it. That Christmas Light song was just really good. Like, that was, if we had an award for the best find, I guess, maybe the best discovery, Hollow Coves would probably win that, but Ingrid Michaelson would really fight it out. Those 2 nights were really, really good.
Yeah, it was kind of that dark pop. Like, if you listen to Ali X, I guess a more popular one would be Melanie Martinez. That was kind of in that genre.
It felt like it had more maturity than those 2.
Yeah, it was less jokey.
More maturity than I think Melanie Martinez. But
yeah, that was her thing, though.
Yeah.
So you can't really argue that. But day 3 was Johnny Cash. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, that was amazing. Kiss Me Once by the cringy Kylie Minogue. That would definitely take the award for cringy album. I mean, I don't mind sexualized songs at all.
Just look at some of the song titles. Like, just go on Spotify right now. Look that up. And you'll just see what we mean. You don't even have to listen to them.
Yeah,
I don't think it was really bad. It was just very, like, I don't think you would be able to listen to that often.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Yeah. Led Zeppelin 4, I mean, that's just a classic. I think you thought I used to cover that song, so it was Stairway to Heaven. So that's an album that's near and dear to my heart. Haven't listened to it in a long time, but man, it was good.
And then M, we got K-pop, so we had to listen to Monsta X, and I don't know. I'm not too big into K-pop. I don't dislike it, but it's very situational. Like, some bands are obviously better than others for.
I mean, to me, it sounded good. I don't know what the hell they were saying. There probably wasn't much to it because it wasn't.
There was a good amount.
Yeah, I mean, boy bands are only going to put out so much, but.
Ooh, you're going to get canceled.
Oh, really? I'm not allowed to call them boy bands anymore?
No, people can get angry.
Oh, no.
No, not for that. Just for, like, K-pop. Just kidding. K-pop is fine. Like,
I don't have a problem with K-pop, but, I mean, they're sort of a boy band. So it was...
It sounds like
judging against other boy bands, it sounded the same.
If you're not looking at the lyrics, it just kind of sounds like that. And
it was in Korean, so...
Yeah, exactly. If you're not reading them or understand it.
If the lyrics are deeper than what I was getting... Hey, that would only make it better. But it wasn't bad. I mean, I didn't want to rip out my eardrums like I did on some other album.
It didn't get any of the worst marks, so that should say something. And then day 7, again, another really amazing album, Moral Panic by Nothing But Thieves. I was very shocked by that album.
Yeah, that was a really good one. That was...
It had some very interesting lyrics.
Very mature. I mean, not mature themes, but just mature way of looking at things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot what the name of the song was. It was something about, can you be an individual? Oh, I forgot the name now.
Yeah, I think that might have been the name.
Yeah, something like that. But if you read the lyrics on that one, very interesting.
Yeah, if you want to read about it, look it up. It's on my Instagram, dj.anvil.
Ooh, nice shout out to yourself.
Yeah, don't spell out dot. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. Like, when you say dot, do people just know that you mean a period?
Well, now they do. Unless they stopped right then.
Yeah, that's true. All right, on to week 3.
Okay, so for week 3, day 1 was What's the Story? Morning Glory by Oasis. Day 2, Brand New Eyes by Paramore. Day 3, Black Rain by Queen Latifah. Day 4, Out of the Cellar by Rat. Day 5, Never Mind the Bullocks. Here's the Sex Pistols by Sex Pistols. Day 6 was Fear by Toad the Wet Sprocket. And Day 7 was The Changing of Times by Under Oath.
Week number 3.
Dun dun dun.
So what did we start with week number 3? You don't
Oasis.
Oasis? Oh, up here. Yeah, I mean, it's a good album. It deserves its place in history, but, I mean, it was...
Oasis?
Yeah, it was always. I mean, it was. I can't say anything bad about it, but that's just one of those albums that I listened to and I'm just kind of moved on from. So it's hard for me to judge that. Then we went to
Paramore, Brand New Eyes.
They suffered from the same thing as Evanescence.
They did, except for their song. Oh no!
The last 2 songs on the album.
The last 2 songs.
Yeah.
I can't remember the one that I really liked now.
I know.
Oh no! You talk about the next one. I'm gonna look it up. Queen Latifah.
Well, Queen Latifah, Black Rain. I mean, if you want to know what hip hop is supposed to be, listen to Black Rain by Queen Latifah. It's so socially conscious. It deals with female empowerment. Like,
yes.
I mean, that is just a strong
The
album.
original woke.
Well, yeah, but they were the type. That was a day and age where they would have like picked up woke and broke its spine and dumped it in a gutter.
Yeah, because it was the truth of it.
Well, nobody was doing it for woke points. We did it because we
you believed in it. You
yes,
you felt
exactly.
like it was necessary because it is.
That's right. When she was singing about unity, we were behind that because we actually believe that women deserve rights and should be treated just like men. Not because somebody was going to pat me on the back and say, "Here's a woke star."
Yeah, very interesting album. And also, the song off Paramore was "Misguided Ghost." That one was my favorite. Yeah.
Yes.
Wrapped.
Well,
Off-camera Amy pushed for this album.
yeah, because when I met your mom, my wife, I have to clarify that because whenever I say your mom, it always feels like we're
it's a different
separated.
person.
But we've been together since '89, and we went through a very strong heavy metal phase.
I can't imagine that. I can imagine it with him, but her not so much.
No, I know. And well, there you go. Never mind the bollocks. Sex Pistols. That's an album I grew up on. I was a punker back in the early '80s. I was one of 3 at my high school. But that's one of those albums that, if you listen to that genre or anything that revolves around that genre,
you have to know.
Yeah, if you listen to punk pop, you need to listen to it.
Yeah, and it's their only album, so it makes it really easy.
Yeah, and it's not that old music good, new music bad. It's not that. It's about knowing the history, seeing where things started.
The inspiration, and also, who knows? You could think old music good, new music bad, but you wouldn't be able to give it a chance if you didn't look into the history of your music. I definitely recommend that. If you really like a band, don't just listen to the band. Go into the band members. See if they had anyone they were inspired by. See if they have any solo acts. You might find someone really amazing through that. Yeah,
I mean, if music is something that changes your life, enriches your life, saves your life, then in a lot of ways you owe it to music to learn the history and see where we came from and understand why people say, oh, the Sex Pistols are the best punk rock band ever. Give it a listen. It's not generational hatred, man. It's all groovy, baby.
And if you don't like it, just turn it off. It's simple with music now, especially with streaming.
But you must listen to the next album.
Fear, Toad the Wet Sprocket. Really good album. All of their albums are good. I'm convinced they can't do any bad now.
No, and they're currently doing a lot of online charity work, and they allow you to pay what you can afford, and that's the heart of a real indie group that never really sold out. Never did. They were one of those ones that got upset when their songs became overly popular and misunderstood, but they kept going, and I can't think of a really bad Toad song. Yeah,
I liked quite a few songs off the album because I listened to this one by myself in my room, so I wasn't able to write them down, so I just liked them on Spotify, and a lot of them very good. Pray Your Gods, very Pink Floyd sound. That was a good one. And then the final one off this one was The Changing of Times, Under Oath. It was Screamo.
Was that the Screamo one?
That was the Screamo one, and if you've ever listened to Screamo and you don't like it, you know the exact problem is sometimes they have really good lyrics, really good instrumentals, but then it's hard to listen to because of it.
Yes,
Granted, this was their debut album, so they have definitely changed, so it's definitely not judging Under Oath as a band. But
no, but yeah, it was just like a rap song, like a rap song in the middle of a pop song, where it just was like.
That's the part you want to skip.
Yeah.
The rest of the song might be amazing.
And some of their music was beautiful, and then he would just start screaming, and it was just kind of like, yeah, I don't know.
The juxtaposition.
It was kind of like wiping your butt with lace. Yeah.
I like how you're nodding. You're like, yes, I just came up with a very good.
I just nailed that one, didn't I? On to week 4.
Okay, so for week 4, day 1 was To the Extreme by Vanilla Ice. Day 2, Sentimental Hygiene by Warren Zevon. Day 3, Los Angeles by X. Day 4, Weird by Youngblood. Day 5, Wild and Free by Ziggy Marley. Day 6, American Standard by 7 Mary 3. And day 7 was Tupacalypse Now by Tupac.
Week 4, Vanilla Ice, Ice, baby. Bam, 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 bam. Man, look, I love that song, but I think you summed it up best.
Oh no, what did I say?
Oh, you called him the original meme rapper.
Oh, yeah, I did.
And it really was, but, people gotta remember that was a significant album. That was the first time a hip-hop album broke the top 100. Yeah,
even if you don't want to say it's real hip-hop or whatever, it was still the first one, so
yeah,
you can't really discredit that.
Yeah, I mean, he was young when he did it, and, I mean,
very weird guy, when you were saying the history of him.
Yeah.
Really weird stuff, even if you don't listen to it.
Yeah, no, not many people get arrested for stealing a pool heater, and he was, and that's
one of the few.
Yeah, he's kind of, yeah, he's an interesting dude. Another interesting dude was Warren Zevon.
Zevon? Oh, I gave it as like a French Zevon.
It's really weird because some of these albums are albums that I absolutely consume to death, and then other ones are brand new. So I haven't had a chance. But Sentimental Hygiene is just a really interesting singer-songwriter type album. Mm-hmm. Warren he sang about a lot of things. On this particular album, he sings about the boxer Boom Boom Mancini. He's famous for Werewolves of London, and he's done another song on a different album about a guy who steals money from a German bank and then retires to play bingo on an Indian reservation in Florida.
That sounds like a really fun way to live life.
Yeah, I mean, he really put a lot of creativity into his lyrics.
Los Angeles X.
Just an absolute epic album. I grew up on that album.
Another classic punk, classic
Oh, yeah,
rock.
very classic LA punk band. It's put together with the dude from The Doors, Manzarek, the keyboardist. It's another one of those historical albums where really you can really trace the history of punk rock, and it does go right through Los Angeles.
Both literally and through the song.
Yeah, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, and then was Youngblood weird? I like Youngblood.
I love Youngblood.
He's a very interesting guy. Totally one of those artists that you would want to meet and just see, like, what's his life actually like?
Yeah, I mean, he's young enough and weird enough to be my son. and I love him that way, too. There's something that I love about Youngblood because I feel that there's some sense of genuineness to his persona and to who he is. And I like the way that he's pushing music in a really cool direction. And he's not afraid to do a nice, slow, soft song either. And I like that. The guy's got balls, man.
Oh, yeah, but his song Weird off that album it's just kind of about quarantine and all that, but it's not so direct that you're not going to be able to enjoy it after.
Yeah, like Level of Concern. 21 Pilots, that's another one that's quarantine.
And their Christmas Saves the Day, 21 Pilots Christmas song. Same thing.
It's turned into the 21 Pilots Love Fest over here. But Youngblood, cool dude, man. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. Don't reject him just because of the way he looks, because you'd be making a mistake.
Yeah. Next was Ziggy Marley, Wild and Free. Very disappointed to hear Ziggy isn't his real name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a cool name either way.
Yeah. Good
album. I mean, it's just pretty much standard reggae. Don't listen to it if you have problems with marijuana, because that's pretty much what the whole album's about.
It really is.
Woody Harrelson makes a guest appearance on that, but you can read more about that album on dj.anvil Instagram. And
then American Standard, 7 Mary 3. I don't remember it all that much.
A little bit of growl rock in there, man. It was, 7 Mary 3 is no longer together, sadly, but they have some really interesting alt rock. A lot of people said that they were just kind of copying other popular rock bands like Pearl Jam, stuff like that. I don't know.
I don't think
their
copying.
song "Lame" was just incredible. I mean, he was talking about just how he felt uncomfortable around that half black, half white kid,
and was just saying that he was lame for feeling that way.
Yeah.
He wasn't turning into anything more than it needed to be.
No, it wasn't being woke. It was being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we need more of. And speaking of honesty, that takes us to how we closed out the month. Obviously, after we did Z for Ziggy Marley,
We
we
just
went
did
with
two
numbers.
numbers, yeah.
7 being my favorite number and Tupac being one of my favorite rappers. So we went with Tupac.
Have to cover.
Yeah.
Have to cover.
Had to have that one in there. Brenda's
Had a baby?
Yeah, that song is just, that's one of those songs that really, for a white kid from a white suburb, it really opened my eyes to things and really set me on a musical journey that I'm blessed to have gone down.
That's a very important thing to do, is you don't need to explain the history, you just need to show it.
Yeah.
You need to show that there's
just the story of what happened.
There's dark parts.
Yeah, I mean, no offense, but if you post a black square on Facebook, that's great, whatever. But if you don't listen to the music that really talks about it in an unflinching way, like Tupacalypse Now or even the Queen Latifah album,
you might not know what's actually behind that black square that you posted.
Well,
I think that's important.
And the truth of the matter is that you realize that it's not. They don't sing about white people being the problem. They talk about people being the problem.
Just people in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you get your eyes open, and once your eyes are open, it's hard to close them again.
Also, just a very good album, sound-wise.
Yeah. But you got to make sure that the bass is turned up, and, we have some Venetian blinds that are metal, and they rattle, so you need some rattling, because that's how good rap is supposed to.
Put a water bottle or something so you hear it.
Yeah, you need something to rattle, like a big, subwoofer in the trunk of a broken down car. Because that's how I learned how.
Listening?
Well, that's how it was with my boy Dion's car. He had an old Fiat, and everything rattled, and he'd thump the bass, and the whole car would freaking rattle, and then we'd have to stop every now and then and pick up all the parts that fell off. And that's not true, but it illustrates the point. Boom, onto the awards. And now, the awards for the month of February.
Okay, so the first one was Best Album Overall, and we decided, Total Wet Sprocket wins again. They won in January, they won in February. Are we going to have them in March? We don't know.
Probably.
Then we go on to the Worst Album Overall, and I will first start with Off-Camera Amy's opinions.
Okay, Off-Camera Amy.
Prepare to be really disappointed.
So you know what the great part is? There is no camera, but she's still off camera.
Yeah. I'm going to be really angry at these.
All right, I'm ready, ma'am. Tell me what the love of my life has said it was the worst album.
She has two, which makes it even worse.
Oh, no.
Los Angeles X. And then Tupacalypse Now. She doesn't like wordy songs. She doesn't like to think when she listens to music. That's what she said. She likes it to be very calm and not have a heavy meaning behind it. And I think we both disagree with that.
Hey, Amy, I want a divorce.
She's probably just sitting inside, just doing something by herself. But,
really?
Yeah, I know. I was a bit disappointed, but I didn't want to say anything because it's her opinion. I didn't want to influence her.
Wow, that's...
Are you going to have a stern talk with her?
That hurts. No. And what did people who have taste say was the worst album?
What you said was the Kylie Minogue Kiss Me Once.
I understand that women in their 40s can still be sexy, but it was just kind of, I don't know. It was cringy. It was really like somebody my age trying to act 18. But see,
it's like watching your mom do that on Instagram.
Yeah, it's like
you're good on you, but I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit immature. But I have reasons for my immaturity. Genuinely. Yeah. I am no older than about 23, which is mentally, yeah. I'm not all there to begin with.
All right, then our most unique album was Stranger Songs, Ingrid Michaelson. It was actually quite tough picking this month, so we didn't really have anything too strange.
No, but her album was about Stranger Things.
Yeah, it was kind of an odd concept.
Yeah, it's an odd concept to base an album off of a TV show. I'm sure it's been done before.
Yeah, the album cover, the Christmas song. I'm not sure about the other ones as much, but it definitely, like, you just look at it, it's obvious.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it says on our wiki, is that it's inspired by that, so I'm going to go with it.
All right, our next category was Best Album for the Masses. So, not necessarily saying which one's the worst, but it's just which one would the most people enjoy.
Yeah.
And we picked Doomday's Bastille.
Yeah.
I like Bastille, but a lot of the songs off that album are playing on the radio now, so I think that just kind of goes to show that, like, yes, that album has a lot of mass appeal.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, sometimes it's hard for me, especially, to judge some of these albums because I've listened to them for decades.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say, but I have a feeling Izzy's right on that one.
And then we had Most Surprising Album. We had a tie here. We had Moments, Hollow Coves, and then Moral Panic, Nothing But Thieves. Both ones that took us a very long time to pick, so I think that's why.
Yeah, they took, and also to try to pick like what our favorite songs were off of that. I think Hollow Coves was just because I literally just saw them as we were going through Spotify, and
there's just two dudes walking like on like a mountain. I don't remember what it was, but they have a lot of travels references.
Yeah, and one thing that I like is a lot of folk music is overly poetic or kind of garbled, I guess would be a good word for it in terms of their lyrics. And I really like that this was just clean vocals and clean guitar. There was something about it.
It was very soft acoustic.
Yeah, but you know, they work some really, really deep songs on there. If you look at DJ.Anvil and read my review on it, you'll see which ones we really like. That's on Instagram, by the way.
And then Nothing But These is just a really good album that we weren't expecting to get anything. Was there another pick that we had for N, and that's why we were a bit angry? I don't remember.
For which one?
For N, the letter N. Did we have a bigger band that we wanted to do? Was that why it was really surprising?
No, I think it was just really difficult because there's not a lot of N's out there.
Yeah.
You know, and then when you throw in like a genre on top of it, you know, I think we got something like early 90s or early 2000 alt or emo or something like that.
I don't remember it now. But...
yeah, it's there. Go on Instagram, DJ.Anvil.
And then next was our individual favorites. We'll start with Off-Camera Amy. She had 3.
She had 3 for what category now?
Individual favorite.
Okay, all right.
She's not very good at picking, as you very indecisive. But she had Tango in the Night, Fleetwood Mac.
Oh.
Led Zeppelin 4, Led Zeppelin. What? Why are you laughing?
No, just go on.
And then Fear, Toad the Wet Sprocket.
All right, well, she redeemed herself at the end, but, you know, the thing we always have to remember is that she is a mom, and her picks will reflect that. I'm really surprised she didn't put Johnny Cash on there.
Yeah. I don't remember if she mentioned it. And then your individual favorite was Toad the Wet Sprocket as well.
Yeah.
So it won 3 awards. And then I picked Youngblood, weird, because it was the one that I would actually listen to. That's kind of what I judged it off of. But if we were just going purely off of, like, sound, which ones I had enjoyed, Queen Latifah, Nothing But Thieves would also be up there.
Oh, yeah, that Queen Latifah could have won many awards, for me, personally, if it wasn't for other albums.
Yeah.
But when you fall to... when you fall to Toad the Wet Sprocket, for me, that's saying something. Because Toad is one of my favorite bands. They are up there with Simon & Garfunkel and Pink Floyd.
And then the most genre-specific, you may announce it.
You don't want to say Never Mind the Bullets, Here's the Sex Pistols?
Yeah, you're not doing it.
I know, she's such a sweet little girl, isn't she? She just doesn't want to say sex or bollocks.
I said it for the album.
Oh, you did? I was very proud of you.
I know, I laughed.
Yeah, that was, I mean, yeah.
If you don't like punk and you don't like stuff you wouldn't play in front of your parents, I guess you're not going to like the album. Simple as that.
No, it was very punk. It defined the genre, and I don't think any of the other albums define the genre. Like, look, for example, like Led Zeppelin, lots of bands define that classic rock sound, and the Sex Pistols, their music and away from the music, their lifestyle, all of that, their dress, all of that was so punk rock. It literally defines the genre.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think that was it for our awards.
No? Is that the last one?
Yeah,
genre
that was the
specific?
last one. We only did 7 awards.
I thought we did album of our favorite album or the best album of the whole month.
Yeah, we did. That's number 1.
Really?
We already said that, yeah.
We don't end with best album?
No, we don't. We're very different.
Have you not been watching the Grammys?
No.
You don't been watching the Grammys?
No, I haven't.
Have you been checking the Instagram at DJ.Anvil?
I don't use Instagram.
What?
I don't.
So you don't see my wonderful post at DJ.Anvil?
I don't.
Oh.
I hear you talk about them.
What? Talk about what?
Oh my god.
Talk about what?
The songs.
That I post where?
DJ.Anvil.
Oh, so DJ.Anvil, eh? All right, well, that was the month of February.
Overall, really good month. A very difficult one. Do not recommend doing 2 genres if you ever do this.
No, 2 qualifiers.
2 qualifiers.
Yeah.
For this, I don't recommend that.
And we hope you're listening along too, because for both of us, music is a vital part of our lives, and music has saved my life. Music has saved Izzy's life, and it's something that we have in common. And we just want to spread a little bit of our music knowledge, and we want people to hear some of these songs that might just change or save their lives.
Yeah, and if you only listen to a few, that's fine, because that few might be the one that you really loved.
Yeah.
Make sure to come back next month. For the month of March, we are doing a year.
That's
and then
right.
we have to find an album from that year. Genre doesn't matter. There's no alphabetical. It's just that. We just have a big shoebox of them.
And we've already done 1959 and 2011, so you can
weird
see,
years.
Yeah, some pretty broad right there. Hey, again, you never know what you might find. So tune in next month for our album a day review.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.